Good morning, everyone. Welcome again to our session, another fresh session and fresh start for our subject physical education and health. We are now on week number 3, mga anak, of Hope 4. And for our general topic this morning, we will be discussing the moderate to vigorous physical activities, specifically po ang atin pong PE 4 or for grade 12 ay about recreational activities. This time, papasukin naman po natin yung tinatawag nating mountaineering activities. And by the way, gusto ko lang pong ibigay ang due credit para po sa nagmamay-ari ng reference na ito. This was prepared by a friend of mine, a co-teacher from the Division of Antipolo, Ma'am Bernadette G. Leis. Okay, so also, makikita niyo rin po sa presentation ko ngayong umagang ito mga anak na ang gagamitin ko po as much as possible ng mga pictures ay yung mga pictures ko saan ako po mismo ang nakaranas ng tinatawag nating recreational activity na mountaineering. Okay, so your very own teacher po ay mag-share sa inyo ng kanyang mga experience through pictures, no, ng mountaineering activities dito po sa Rizal, ang ating pong minamahal na lalawigan. And moving on, what we will learn today, this is very important for us to learn, diba? Ano ba yung mga dapat nating matutunan ngayong umagang ito? Okay, so still we are anchored by most essential learning competency na nakita nyo po sa screen ngayon. But this one, we will modify this. Since we cannot really perform mountaineering since we are on a new quarantine guideline set by the IATF, no? Hindi po tayo pwedeng lumabas dahil lahat po tayo ngayon ay naka-ECQ, okay? We will modify this and we will perform the basic skills of mountaineering inside our homes. O, di ba? Exciting yon. Paano? Mamaya po ay ipapaliwanag ng ma'am. Okay? So these are our specific objectives for this morning. We will discuss the nature and background of mountaineering, specifically its two classification, hiking and trekking. Of course, you'll be engaging yourselves into the MBPAs for at least 60 minutes, okay, for a variety of days in a week, no? Sa setting na applicable sa ating quarantine guidelines ngayon, which is the ECQ. So instead of going out, ay gagawin natin ito sa ating mga tahanan. Or also, we will identify the basic fundamental skills of hiking, and we will be familiarizing ourselves with the different facilities and equipments in mountaineering activities and perform at least the basic skills in hiking and trekking. Okay, by the way, I just would like to share that this photo was taken some 2 years ago before the pandemic po sa Mount Mapalad in Tanay, Rizal. Napakapalad natin kasi bukod sa meron tayong bundok na ang tawag ay Mount Mapalad, mapalad tayo dahil dito sa Rizal ang ating lalawigan ay mayamang taglay pagdating sa bulubundukin. Okay, so sana tayo ay tumugon sa tawag ng ating inang kalikasan, di ba? Sabi nga rito ni John Muir, di ba? The appeal of nature. The mountains are calling and I must go. Diba? Tayo po ay madalas na nakatuon lamang sa apat na sulok ng ating tahanan, sa screen ng ating mga cellphones or gadgets. Sana po kung tayo ay maging COVID-free na, no? Pakinggan natin ang tawag ni Inang Kalikasan, dalawin natin siya, explore natin siya. Diba? Pumunta tayo dun sa mga lugar na ito. But of course, still, no, doon pa rin tayo sa safety and precautions or yung mas makakabuti para sa atin. Okay? So, I'm so excited, my dear students, na i-share sa inyo ang topic na ito because this recreational activity is something that I really love to do. Isa ito sa mga hobby ng ma'am. So let's go. For this activity, we are on the introductory activity. Okay, I'll be giving you enough time to answer this. You may pause this video so that you can answer this activity. This is the write and go activity. Okay, on a piece of paper, please answer this essential question. Okay, just share your thoughts by writing it in your answer sheet. Okay, so the question is, how will you benefit from engaging to physical activity such as mountaineering? Okay, so how will you benefit from this activity in terms of your health, diba? In terms of your fitness, paano po ba kayo magbe-benefit? Okay, so for you to do this activity, you may pause this video and you may write your answers on your answer sheet, and don't forget to turn it in, diba? Turn it in sa atin pong Google Classroom assigned for your section. Okay? And once you're done with that, please do answer this next activity. And this time, I am introducing to you the lesson 3, our specific lesson for this session, which is mountaineering activities, hiking, and trekking. This is activity 3.2, and this activity is entitled Easy Stroll. Diba? Read and analyze the following statements. We have 5 statements here on the right side of the screen. Please copy the table below and identify which statements describes trekking and hiking. Okay, so you have there 2 choices, 2 categories, okay? Hiking and trekking. Now, all you have to do is to categorize them based on your understanding. Now, which among the two you prefer? Is it trekking or hiking? You will also answer this guide question following the table, okay, on your answer sheet. Okay? Share your thoughts, be honest. Kung ikaw ay pagbibigyan ng pagkakataon, gusto mo bang mag-hike or mag-trek? That is based on your understanding on the choices or the statements here. Okay, again, you may pause this video so that you can answer this activity and turn it in also on our Google Classroom. Let's continue. Now, I would like to share to you Mr. Romeo Roberto Garduce. Familiar ba kayo sa kanya? Maaaring ang ilan sa inyo ay kilala na siya. At para sa ilan na hindi pa po siya nakikilala, I want to share to you his background, okay? He is the very first Filipino who historically complete the 7 summits of the world. His name is Romeo Roberto Garduce. Alam nyo, kilala siya sa tawag na Romy Garduce. Kung saan, no, mga anak, no, kitang-kita nyo naman, may hawak siyang bandila ng Pilipinas, natatanging Pilipinong kauna-unahang nakakompleto ng 7 summits o yung tinatawag nating 7 pinakakilalang bundok para sa mga mountaineers, no, sa buong mundo. At yan po, no, nakikita niyo po diyan kung paano po niya na complete at na-accomplish ang 7 mga bulubunduking iyan. So these are the 7 summits of the world with its measurements and location. No? At sa bawat bundok po na yan, pag nararating po yan ng ating po kapwa Pinoy na si Romeo Roberto Garduce, ay inilalagay niya po, okay, on top of it, ang bandila po ng Pilipinas. Hindi po ba ay nakaka-proud po naman talaga. Okay, like for example, this one, di ba? Ito po, inilagay niya po ang bandila ng Pilipinas sa top of Mount Everest. At alam naman po natin, no, na ang Mount Everest po, no, ng Nepal, okay, isa sa pinakamataas na bundok sa buong mundo. Ayan po. Ayan po ang ating pong kapwa Pinoy na nagbibigay ng karangalan sa larangan ng mountaineering, no, sa ating bansa. Now, bakit ko po yan ibinigay o ibinahagi sa inyo? Because I want to emphasize here that mountaineering is not a simple activity. Actually, ang mountaineering po is considered as a sports, no? It is a sports of mountain climbing. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi po nating sports, pampalakasan, di ba? Ito po ay hindi basta-basta activity lamang. Okay? So, there are two exciting activities that draw in your participation to mountaineering. Nandyan po ang hiking at nandyan po ang trekking. Okay? Sa activity po natin kanina, tinanong ko po kayo, ano po sa tingin ninyo ang pagkakaiba ng hiking and trekking? At kung kayo ay pagbibigyan ng pagkakataon, kung pipili po kayo between the two, ano po ang pipiliin nyo? Now, to help you better understand the two opportunities or exciting activities you can do out of mountaineering, ito po, isi-share ko po sa inyo ang table na ito. Okay, ako pa rin po yan, tama po. Nandyan po sa left side of your screen, that's me. 5 years ago. Okay, sa isang bundok pa rin po sa Rizal. I think it's in San Mateo. Okay, so going back, let us classify hiking and trekking, and let's give their differences in terms of duration, preparation, trails, and intensity. So, in terms of duration po, ang hiking po ay kayang tapusin in 2 to 8 hours. Ibig sabihin, in a day, kaya mong tapusin ang isang bundok. That's hiking. Okay? Pero pag nag-trek ka po, 'di ba? Katulad po ito ng mga experience po ni Romy Garduse, no, na siya po ay nagla-last for few days, even weeks or even months po. Okay? So, in terms of preparation, hindi po ganun kalalang planning ang nire-require kapag po tayo ay nagha-hike. As compared to trekking, since araw ang bibilangin, linggo o buwan, kailangan mo talaga ng sufficient time, extensive planning, para ma-prepare mo lahat ng kakailanganin para sa ruta, pagkain, at essentials na dadalhin sa trekking activity na gagawin mo. Now, in terms of the trails, no, yung daraanan mo sa bundok, no, si hiking, kasi mostly mga dito, newbies o yung mga dito, amateur ang nagpe-perform nito, nakamark, no, yung daraanan. No, unlike pag nagte-trek ka, sometimes no, meron kang grupo ng mga professional trekkers na kasama. Mostly hindi nakamark o walang mga marka yung aakyating bundok, i-discover nyo on your own. Ayan, meron kang liberty, meron kang kalayaan na gawin yun. But of course, you have to secure pa rin the safety of all. And of course, may kasama ka pa rin na at least somebody or professional or a person talaga nakabisado yung bundok na iyon. And in terms of intensity, since leisure activity naman talaga ang purpose ni hiking, di ba? Moderate intense ang kanyang intensity level. And in terms of trekking, nako, ito, mostly talaga, moderate up to vigorous talaga ang intensity level ng mountaineering activity. And by the way, no, just a reminder that when we talk about intensity, di ba, it determines how our heart and lungs react no, physiologically sa mga activities na nag-e-engage tayo. Di ba? Kapag talagang heavily breathing na tayo, tapos talagang habol na natin ang ating hininga, okay, so that certain activity can be considered as vigorous, intense talaga yung activity. Kung kaya pa natin siyang i-accommodate, kaya pa nating i-sustain yung paghinga, 'di ba? Yung rhythm, that's moderate intense physical activity na. So, remember, nakukompute natin to, the 60% and the 80%, which was part of our week 2 lesson for this subject. Pwede po nating balikan yon. Nandito pa rin po siya sa ating channel. Naka-upload po ang ating pong week 2 lesson. Pwede niyo pong balikan. How are we going to compute for intensity? The 60% and the 80% of our heart rate. Okay, so let's continue. Now, I would like to share to you some of mountaineering essentials. Okay, so we have there the backpack where we put our goods, diba? As much as possible, kung hiker ka, small bag or to no bag at all, basta meron kang mga water and trail food na dala. Of course, you also be needing footwears. And of course, yung footwears na yan, it will support us and prevent you from the possibility of, at least ma-lessen yung possibility ng injury, di ba? So, kailanganin mo ng footwear, hiking shoes, ano pa ba? Hiking boots, etc., etc. By the way, you'll also be needing this one. Yung hawak namin ng aking husband, this was taken some 6 years ago in Sagada, Mountain Province. So, sa Mountain Province po ito, sa Cordillera Administrative Region. May hawak po kami diyang trekking poles. Trekking poles are also considered mountaineering essential. Sa Tagalog po yan po yung mga baston, pantungkod. Okay? You'll be needing to bring this, especially kapag maputik yung daan, masyado ng mataas, because it will help you maintain your stability. Okay? So, syempre, sa mga mountaineers, kung hindi po out of wood, yung iba po out of special metal po talaga na makakatulong for them to really support their weights then kapag nasa hiking or trekking activities po sila. And of course, we have here the list of must-have essentials. There are 11 po. Syempre, kailangan po dyan ng first aid kit. Sometimes when you go to hiking, no, yung tour guide mo ang may dala nito. Okay? Pero if you go on trekking, 'di ba? Syempre, ilang buwan kayo, ilang linggo o ilang araw kayong magte-trek, you'll be needing, of course, syempre, kakailanganin mo po ng sarili mong bitbit na first aid kit. Okay? And so on. We have there the list of our very essential, the must-have things to bring kapag tayo ay nag-trek or hike. And now let's discuss the basic skills in hiking and trekking. So there are two, my dear students, okay? So when we talk about basic skills, talagang ito yung mga dapat binibigyan natin ng importansya, oras at panahon because it is important for us to prepare our heart, diba? Yung lungs natin, and especially yung legs din natin. Kapag papasukin na natin yung recreational activity na hiking or trekking. Dito may establish natin yung tinatawag nating good pace, diba? Para sa ating katawan. So, you may refer to the tips na nandyan po sa inyong screen para mahanap mo ang perfect pace para sa iyo. At pag sinabi nating pace, by the way, no, tinutukoy natin dito ay yung tulin ng paglalakad. Pag ikaw ay nasa hiking and trekking mountaineering activity na. So first, kakailanganin natin ang unang basic skill and that is setting hiking pace. So, for you to set up your hiking pace o yung tulin o bilis ng paglalakad, we have here 4 tips no na bigay sa atin ng hiking guide hikingdude.com in the year 2015. Shinare nila sa atin yung mga hiking basics, no? At ito yung mga yon. First, start out a pace that seems fairly easy and walk for 5 minutes. Diba? So, kumbaga, nag-warm up ka pa lang for 5 minutes. So, dapat, on your way to this activity, hindi pa ganun kabilis ang lakad mo. Yung pace mo ay yung same speed pa lang, average, very fair lang. No need for you to walk fast, no need for you to walk too slow naman. Now, stop and check your breathing from time to time. If normal, para yung breathing mo, mag-increase ka ng pace mo o bilis mo. Diba? Pero kung hindi, at sobra na yung pagpapawis mo, mabigat na yung paghinga mo, di kailangan mo na siguro mag-slow down muna at mag-start all over again. Again, my dear students, we are after our safety. So kung alam mo na sa paglalakad mo, unang 5 minuto, hirap ka na, at nag-stop ka, at inulit mo ulit, ay hirap ka pa ulit, kailangan mo mag-stop at huwag nang ipagpatuloy yung activity. Again, we are after your safety. Next, repeat this until you settle on your pace, diba? That barely raises your breathing, but does not make sweat. So, again, pag you were able to parang stabilize na your pace, repeat the same the same tips, diba? Slowly, there is a progression. Again, kung trekking naman, you will do the same steps no on the next day of your hike or trek. And then until you have found your steady pace o yung bilis o tulin na akma sa iyong kakayahan. And that will lead you to our next basic skills, okay? And that is establishing your rhythm. This time, sabay-sabay na nagkakaroon na ng coordination ang iyong paghinga, kahit na napakahaba na ng oras na iyong paglalakad, di ba? Nagsuswing na rin yung arms mo, na-maintain mo na yung good momentum sa paglalakad until you reach the top of the mountain, until you reach the end of the mountain. Until you go down, di ba? You must establish your momentum or rhythm. Hindi ka na hirap. Sabay-sabay na sila. They are going on synchronous rhythm. Okay? And let's continue. So we have the next one. Okay? Just a touch of reminders. No, i-remind ko lang kayo. Please follow this leave no trace principle. Kung pagkabibigyan na tayo ng pagkakataon na makabisita sa mga bulubundukin sa ating bansa, o syempre unahin na natin ang ating lalawigan ng Rizal, di ba? So let us follow this principle, di ba? The leave no trace principle. Okay? Pag tayo namumundok at kahit naman nasa ang lugar tayo, nasa bahay natin, di ba? Nasa kalsada, di ba? O nasa anumang lugar, I think this one is also applicable. Yung i-respect natin yung wildlife, hindi natin sila sasaktan, may nakita tayong animals, huwag natin silang hahawakan kasi hindi natin sila kilala, hindi natin alam ang nature nila, hindi natin alam kung dangerous ba sila, or etc. Of course, do not litter, huwag pong magkakalat, okay? Huwag din pong hayaan yung nakitang kalat ay hindi natin dadamputin. Okay, panatiliin nating malinis palagi ang ating kapaligiran, ang ating kalikasan. And leave what you find. If it's not your thing, leave it there. Sometimes, no, may mga cases, mga anak na may mga hikers na nakakaiwan ng kanilang mga essential goods or yung kanilang mga things, di ba? Kung doon nila yun naiwan, may malaking possibility na babalikan nila yon. So, wag natin yung kukunin. Leave what you find. Hindi mo kukunin ang hindi mo pag-aari. Alright? So, the same goes, no, applicable din siya sa buhay natin, di ba? Kung hindi iyo, huwag mong aagawin. Huwag mong kukunin. Alright? So, let's continue. Now, this is activity number 3.5, my dear student. This activity is entitled Setting Hiking Pace. Please follow the tips to find your pace, my dear students. This time, itetest na natin yung basic skills in hiking and trekking. Itatry natin i-perform yung mga tips to find your pace, mga anak, by following, of course, yung mga instructions na nakikita nyo sa screen nyo ngayon. Okay? Pero, this time, i-record natin. no, ang inyong performance. By the way, yung picture na nakikita niyo dyan, that one is Mount Sipit Ulang sa San Mateo, Rizal. Okay? So, balik tayo. Dito sa activity na to, i-record po ninyo ang inyong performance sa pagkakandak ng basic skills, no, ng hiking and trekking. Since hindi tayo makakalabas, sa loob ng bahay natin siya gagawin. Here on the table, you will include or write in your name, your grade and section, following the table here. You'll get your resting heart rate. On our previous lesson, we were able to perform how to get the resting heart rate. Pwede pong hawakan ng dibdib, pwede pong by by radial or carotid. Diba? Mauupo ka, magre-relax ka, and then you get your resting heart rate for 60 seconds or for a minute. Okay? Now, pag na-record mo na siya, this time, maglalakad ka for 5 minutes sa loob ng bahay mo. Then after niyan, kukunin mo po ang iyong heart rate again. Now, you will just describe the status of breathing and sweating. Sobra ba yung paghinga? Heavy ba? Light lang ba? Yung pagpapawis ba? Too much ba? O not too much? It's up to you. How you will describe the status of your breathing and sweating. And you'll get, of course, the distance or covered after the 30 walks or 30-minute walk, diba? So, in terms of distance, by meter na lang po, pwede po natin, yung ginamit po nating meter stick, okay, or yung measuring tape, no? During the conduct of our physical fitnesses ay pwede po natin gamitin to cover yung distance ng nalakad natin sa loob ng bahay natin. And of course, yung computed hours, huwag na lang pong miles kasi hindi po siya applicable ngayon, no? Hours na lang po para mas madali na inilaan po ninyo sa ating activity na ito. At sana po, no, 60 minutes at least natin gagawin ito sa loob ng bahay o sa loob ng compound. Kung may compound po tayo, sa harap ng ating bahay, sa harap ng ating bakuran, pwede po natin gawin ito. All you have to do is to honestly perform these activities. Okay? And moving on, we are down to our very last activity. Babalikan po natin yung inyong pong sagot kanina sa atin pong activity 3.1 wherein yung essential question po na how will you benefit from engaging to physical activity like mountaineering, specifically hiking and trekking. Okay? Balikan niyo po ang inyong mga sagot pagkatapos niyo pong i-perform ang activities na ibinigay ko po sa inyo. This time with the knowledge and experience got from this session. And you may turn it also, please turn it also in our Google Classroom. Okay? So before I end this session, I would like to end this one with a quotation by Andy Rooney. And this one is, and I quote, "Everyone wants to live on top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you are climbing it." Tandaan natin, diba, lahat tayo may bundok na gustong maabot sa bawat araw ng ating buhay. Bundok ng pangarap, bundok ng pagsisikap, bundok ng mga lugar na gustong mapuntahan, bundok ng mga problemang gustong masolusyonan. Pero ang tunay na happiness at pagkatuto, nangyayari yan sa proseso ng ating pag-akyat o pag-solve o pag-abot sa lahat ng tinutukoy at tinuturing nating bundok ng buhay. Okay? God bless us all and see you all on our next session. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.